Don here. Okay, back with another live stream. And first thing, let me get everything checked out. Hey, Don here. Okay, back with another live stream. And first thing, let me get yeah, I'm using a headset on this computer now. Hey, Don here. Okay, back with another live. Have to do it that way. And it's working, so let's get back over here. So I've got a little delivery here that I want to open up first, and then this video is going to be about the ventilation for my server closet behind me there, the one on that side. That's the closet. I've got the server in there and running, and I'm working on the ventilation. And anyway, I wanted to open this box first and check this out. So let's get that going. And trying to see, but that's really taped up nice. You don't see that too often. Taped up so good, you kind of hard to tell where the seam is. So see, I want to try a new camera. Oh, okay. Oh, let's try that. I want to just see what this looks like. I just set that up that way. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. We'll see which one's better. That gives you a better view into the box. Not that I wouldn't be holding it up anyway, but it's taping itself to my finger. I'll get them out, and then go back to the other camera because it's a little bit clearer, maybe a little better view if I don't leave that up there. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll use the tape net. My knife, it gets too well used to cut tape very good. And this is that kind of shipping tape that sticks to everything. Yeah, I better just cut it off. I was gonna fold it over on. Yeah, I think no, it's gonna stick to everything. I know I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. That's what I do. Okay, so. Now, maybe I'll actually show you what I got now. Boy, this is really, no complaints on that. Doing a good job of packing. It's like one of those Christmas presents. It's that they wrap a box inside of a box, you know. So I used to love doing that kind of stuff when I was a kid. By the time I got grown, I didn't even want to wrap packages anymore. I used to go finding boxes and box inside a box. And one time I put a brick in a box, and then because the present was big, so I put a brick in a box, and the present was, you know, in a closet or somewhere. And so whoever, I don't remember who it was for now, but. Or if it was actually something I bought or my mom bought for one of my brother or sister, you know. But I didn't buy a whole lot as a kid. We didn't have lots of money. Kids didn't have lots of money when I was growing up. We get 50 cents a week for allowance when we were kids. When we started getting allowance. But anyway. I think it got up to, we got a cost of living raise to $1.50 by the time I was a teenager. And that I saved that up for 2 or 3 years, and that's how I bought my first car. $160, 1962 Buick Invicta. do 110 miles an hour all the way from Hazel to Lickworth. You had to slow down for that last curve at the Lickworth Bridge, and you slow down to 90. Okay, I'm reading HP DL380 G6 G7 hot plug fan module. That's what I got. And I wasn't expecting it to be in a static bag and everything. Boy, this place. I'm not surprised though. I found it. I was searching for these fans, and I found this particular. I'd like to open that in a way that. Not gonna do that. In a way that I can kind of, close it back up pretty good, because I don't have any bad fans on my server yet. I want these mostly. I have two ideas. But the main reason I got them is so I wouldn't be stuck without them, if I end up needing one. But I'm trying to open it. It's not going to reseal, but I was trying to open it the best way I could, but that wasn't very. I guess that was the best way I could. There we go. I thought, let's get the other one out. I'll get my endoscope down here in a minute and we'll show. I was starting to comment on what I see, but I'll wait until I can show it to you. Here, get this other one open. I really should test them, and maybe, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to remember. That said hot plug on there, but hot swappable is what, that's what everybody calls it. But that one's really taped up. Can't even get under any of the tape. There we go. Oh, that one's actually coming loose. Oh yeah, that's kind of how the other one did. But I cut it. It was already kind of loose, and I cut it in the middle, thinking I would tape it back onto the plastic, but that didn't work. Didn't work out. So yeah, somebody put a long piece of tape on there. Trying not to drop stuff in the floor or anything. I do it trying not to. There we go. I used to kind of save this stuff in case I needed to use it, but we've ordered so much stuff for many years now. We pretty much always store it away, and then if I do need a box and some packing material, then I don't always have it. Okay, so yep, says the same thing on it. Now, these are so the reason I'm surprised they're in this bag. I mean, this looks like it would be a new. That looks like the part number on it. Well, I guess they got a really good, part tracking system evidently in this place. This is a server supply place, a server place that sells servers and parts, but they're supposed to be used, refurbished or reconditioned or whatever they call it. Everybody wants to. Now they can't say it's reconditioned and some other thing they say. They don't. I think everybody got a, refurb kind of gets a bad taste. Oh, okay, there's the connector. It's a bad taste in people's mouths anymore, I think. Oh, okay. But you want to know what I'm talking about, don't you? Okay, so let's get that endoscope. I think it'll reach. Yeah, I've already got it turned on and ready to go, so hopefully all I'm going to have to do is just turn it on and start using it. Okay, let's go to the endoscope. Nothing there. Okay, let's get something there. All right, now, it's a little tight. There we go. Guess that's just right, height-wise. It's not going to be right side up to the picture unless I turn it which way? Sideways to me, or kind of crooked, but that's all right. All right, so Nidec Ultra Flow, 12 volts DC, 2.45 amps, product of Vietnam. That's what made me go, oh, it's the first time. So yeah, and let's see, what does this one say? And there's the part number. Okay. 46 HP part number, replaced with spare fan, so and so. Okay, and I don't remember the numbers. And there's the connector. I didn't know where the connectors were. I pulled one or two of mine out before, but I put them right back in. And I thought maybe there was like contacts on either side inside of the red inside of there or something that you couldn't see, but you could actually maybe wire to one of those. But there's so many contacts you'd really have to figure out. I don't know if they're all populated. I can see silver in one of them. It makes me kind of wonder. Oh, it's just the way it looks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I can see goldy gleaming. I think maybe one of them is not actually. I think maybe this one right there doesn't have any contacts in it. That's pretty typical, you know, with electrical things and computers and a lot of things, cars. They just use a standard. How come now I can't get in the picture? Boy, I guess if I would. There we go. I was confused. Okay, I finally realized, okay, look at the camera and see where it's pointing. Look at the camera, see it's leaning to the out some, and that's fine. It gives me more room to move this around, but I finally realized I'll put it right under it, and then you'll get close, and then you could find it. Okay, so still have to turn it. This camera is on a very stiff cable, and there's just no way. I gave up on fighting it after the first couple of weeks of having it. It's going to go where it's going to go when you move it. You might end up with it just, you know, the way you want it, and you might end up with it the other way. You don't even know until you look at it on the, you know, and it's a USB camera. Look at it in the computer. Anyway, this one pretty much looks like it says the same thing on it. These are really good-looking, well-made fans. I'll tell you that. The other ones, you know, I'm sure these are just like the other ones. They sure look to me like the other ones. Get those letters upside down. Now, this one would be more what I would expect. This one made in China. 12 volt DC, 3.30 amps. That one was 2.45 amps, I believe. Delta Electronics. I bet they used to be made in America. Either that, well, of course, they always like to give those American-sounding names to their products too. But Delta's a pretty common name for American products, you know, like companies, and it was 2.45. So I'm surprised they're two different brands, but I guess not, because I mean they harvest these out of. That's one of those terms that people use nowadays. Now It came right off the tip of the tongue, didn't it? You know, instead of hunting and instead of, well, I won't go into that. You know what I'm talking about, probably. Hunting terms sure have changed. Used to you harvest grain, now you harvest a deer, you know, stuff like that. That's one thing I never heard anybody say in my whole life until the last few years, harvest an animal instead of saying, killed me a deer, you know, got me some deer sausage, you know. Usually they'd say I killed a buck, or they don't usually say killed unless they just want to, but some people really do talk that way all the time out here in Texas, but most of us just do it for the fun of it. Okay, so now let's go over here. That's it. And what I was thinking about, the reason I was looking at the connectors and everything, I guess they're both the same. I meant to look at both of them real good. Okay, so one of them, oh yeah, I'll show you where I got them before I go. I was going to go show the server, but looks like it. Why did it? Oh, because I raised it up. I was like, how did it get out of focus? Okay, this one, I don't know why I raised it up. Oh, because I show more of the fan. Oh, I see all the wires. Yeah, I guess I thought the different speeds. I figured there would be two. I figured there'd be a positive, a negative, and a sense wire. But it's got. Oh, it runs on different voltages. Runs different speeds. I bet you. Yellow and computers is 12 volt. Red is. Wait. Blue is usually. No, red is, yeah, red, the standard, general, that's pretty much the standard. They pretty well stick with it with computers. Yellow is 12 volt, red is 5 volt, positive 5 volt. They have negative voltages in computers too. Black is ground, green, it could be a sense wire, or it can be green and purple and other colors like that. Can be a lot of different things. I was trying to see, I think there's more. I can only see that because of either that or if I stick my magnifying glass down there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's that connector? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 connectors and one that's empty. Must be another wire up under there that I can't see. Started to kind of try to move them around to see, but he didn't really want to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Maybe there's 2 of those are grounded. That's what they'll do a lot. They'll run one ground wire and then hook it to 2 connectors. But see, this is my first server to own. I've been really interested. I started getting interested in them in the early 2000s. But let's see. Yeah, red, black, green, and yellow. And this is the one made in Vietnam. Yeah, so there's only 4 wires, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, places you can have connectors. But that one in the middle towards the tab there, that doesn't have any. I can see it's no connector in there. You can see the. Actually, that light might make it reflect a little more. It doesn't really make it any better. Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about, I think. So, I was thinking about using one of these, and I thought after I got them, I thought, really, I should have got more than just 2, because I got them for $2.50 each, and I think it was free shipping. Get over here and get on the web browser, and I'll show you. I want to put my endoscope camera back up there, which you don't know. It doesn't matter to you. I don't have to tell you that now. But let's see, where did I get them? Okay, I didn't get them on Amazon. I looked on Amazon, and I think I found one or two on Walmart. I started looking on Google, shopping. Let's see. Find my folder. This is the server I have. Since I'm right here, I'll show it. Oh, and that's where I bought the server. That was, let's see. That's their profile. That's not the server. There. And had no problems with it. When it's not, you can't buy it from right here, but I did see that you're not seeing as many of them as you were. You were seeing them everywhere. One thing is the only thing that was not as expected as there's no I didn't really care that much, but I think I might have figured out before I bought it. I don't remember now, but that it didn't have a DVD. I think I didn't. I think I just kind of let the picture tell me it was going to have a DVD drive. I don't need it, but came with 8 hard drives, 1.46 gigabyte. Now the picture showed 750 watt fans, and I got 460 watt fans. And I ended up buying 2 750 watt fans because I ended up buying an 8 gigabyte video card for it that needed 150 watts. And the 460s would have done it, but it would have been the absolute max they can handle, and I didn't want to push them like that. So here's, where all the fans go in this machine. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 8 now. And that is how it came in a box, just exactly like that. It was really packed good. But I paid right with, the way they priced it when I bought it, I think it was $260 plus $30-something shipping and maybe a little tax. It was like a couple of bucks under $300. Saw another one. You're seeing a lot of other models at good prices. But that is not what I got on here to show you. But there's power supplies I got. They still have them. They're $29 now. They're like, I think I paid $28, and for 2 of them, they're used, and they've been no problems with them. Trying to find. I'm not seeing. Did I not ever looks like I've reorganized it. I do not see those fans. Oh, remember? Oh, I must have put them in their own, for that company. Must have done that. Now I've lost my place. There we go. There's server parts. I thought I had put them in, but I did do a bunch more searching on that site. So either I put them in my general parts folder, or I might have given a folder for it. Where's the box that tell me the name of the company? Can't remember it. I started thinking maybe I'd show you the sticker, but it's really not. This is much better if I can just find it. Tech Buyer US. They've got them. They got sites for all different countries. So TechBuyer. This one has a shipping center, and a warehouse, I guess, in New Jersey. So, it didn't take long to get here. And I'll go ahead and sort that by name. I didn't expect to Have trouble finding it. I might have gotten mixed up and put it under computer parts or something instead of. I'm just going to go, let's see. They're definitely not there. I know why I don't see it, because I didn't use this computer. I used my server. Okay, so well, I just found what the website is, so I can at least go there. Let's see. I don't know if it's dot. I'm not used to doing. I'm going to see if it's .com or what. Yeah, I think this is it right here. I'll know when I get to the site. Yeah. So oddly enough, see they have, there's this countries where they have sites for have their money on each site. Use their type of money. But yeah, see, well, there's a picture. I never paid any attention to that, but I guess that's one of the picture of one of the warehouses they're proud of. Most of it has, a lot of it has a 3-year warranty. Pretty much everything I paid any attention to, and it, yeah, it said free. It was free shipping. What I was going to say is, you know, I made an account on there, and if I sign in, then I never did. After I got the box, I tried to find my order history. I didn't never find it, a place to find it. It's probably there, and I just didn't see it. But and I sat around here a 3 days because I wanted to do it in the video. But and they have, you know, they have servers. They got lots and lots of servers. But let's see. They do have a DL380 G7. They have all kinds of parts. What's that? Yeah, there's one. I'm pretty sure that's a quad core. Mine's a 6 core with 64 gig of RAM and 8 hard drives. I didn't. This is the cheapest one I've seen on here. It's probably basically empty. We'll see. Oh, it's telling you what it's got right there. Yeah, 2.13 quad cores, 4 gig RAM. Yeah, 460 watt power supplies. That's not too bad. They're $168, but it has tax. Oh yeah, it shows you what the tax is going to be on every one of them. Something like little video fans wasn't much. 6 core. I think it's only one 6 core though. I have 2 6 core. 112 gigabyte of RAM. So this, I didn't see these cheaper ones. All I kept seeing was stuff for $2,000 or maybe $800. Mine are 2.53 gigahertz processors, 2 of them. That's not so bad. I'm gonna put at least one link to it in here. So, where did parts? There we go. Oh wait, I have another. I had another folder for those servers, but general info. Well, I'll just put it there because that's for. Yeah, they're really not too bad. A little bit higher, looks like, than. Trying to see if I saw one. See, there's some fans right there. That must be like it's like a whole kit of something. I don't know what. Maybe that. Oh, that's probably fans and heat sinks, I bet. Yeah, that box is probably for the heat sinks. See, now there's one, 380 Gen 10. I guess that's what I was seeing was the newer ones that were higher. But And I did see some rack rails for about $36 too for it. And let's see if that's got two of them or one of them. That's 12 gigabyte of RAM. I think it's one processor. Oh, it didn't work. I've been having that happen. Well, I've been having it on the on my server on my new Fedora 32 system. This is Fedora 28, and I haven't. You know, I didn't. Well, like what I keep getting is when I'm trying to watch videos on YouTube, they'll, especially if they're really new, like just came out a couple hours ago or something like that, a few hours ago, it'll say you can't play HTML5. You don't have the right stuff. And I've looked and looked, and I finally figured out that you turn on the play DRM content, and then it'll get installed automatically. And it finally, and well, it's called Google's Web Divine Player is what it's called. It's not called HTML5 player or anything. So anyway, anyway, it didn't work right away. None of this stuff's working. Maybe I'm hitting Control to get it to open up in another tab. Maybe that's breaking it. Yep, no, I don't know what's going on there. None of it's showing up. Well, anyway, that's not what I want to do, so make sure my video is working good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the fans. I know you can you're supposed to be able to hot swap them. I'm a little nervous about doing that for no good reason. So, but the server's over there running, and I left it, well, I turned it on this, probably about 2 in the afternoon when I got on the computer, 2:33, whenever it was. And, of course, now it's in the AM, but I didn't get up till about noon today, so. So I'm going to grab my camera 4 there. I fixed my problem with my USB cable being loose where I couldn't pick up the camera and move it while it's plugged into the computer. I've got like a 16-foot cable on it. Let's see. I'll use that to show you what I'm talking about since I decided to mention it. Still want to be careful, but yeah, I figured it would not want to unravel good. So now I'll try to bring it up close to this camera. Maybe you can see it. Can't see it too good. Maybe you can see it well enough to tell what I'm talking about here. You can kind of see that hot snot on there. I attached it with, I plugged it in and then hot snotted the heck out of it with that hot glue. So let it dry overnight. I should have unwound this cord before I plugged it in. It's all wanting to wind itself back up. Didn't think about that, did I? All right, so everything wants to go wonky on me. Now, I'm going to switch. I just had to make it harder for myself, didn't I? Okay. Okay, let's head over here to the chair makes a nice little panning mechanism, doesn't it? I stepped on the cord. First, that would have knocked it loose. So, it's been on since about 2:30. It's not hot in there. It was getting, okay, so I've got a vent, and haven't shown it or anything in this video, so. Okay, that's a floor fan. I hung it from zip ties. And the light, well, I can't reach the bulb. I unscrewed it so it wouldn't be on all the time because the power is, you know, I've got one of those adapters in there with 2 plugs on it, and then you screw the bulb in, and then when you pull the string to turn it on and off, it turns everything on and off. So couldn't do that. I didn't have that in my head when I set it all up. See, I put a vent, what I put up there is a dryer vent. And that's a 2x4, ended up, first I just put it in there, and one side was screwed into a 2x4 in the attic, you know, or a 2x6, a rafter, part of the rafters, you know. And the other side was just in the sheetrock, and it, you know, the house was built in 1962 or so, and that sheetrock is really brittle, you know, and weak, so that wasn't going to cut it. And I had cut a piece of air conditioner filter and put over it and taped it up, and I didn't have a fan in there yet, and I was kind of hoping that it would. You might be able to hear that thing a little bit. It's working pretty good right now, but after it runs that many hours, it'll get kind of warmed up and kind of stay about at that noise level. And if I watch a whole bunch of videos for, you know, especially if I watch, well, yesterday I noticed. Actually, with that Lenovo, I can't watch 4K videos, but I noticed one of my videos off this camera right here, which was supposed to be 4K. It showed up as 4K, and I started watching it, and it started ramping it up. And I got an 8GB video card, 2 6-core processors, 64 gig of RAM, and I got 200 megabits of download speed. I would thought, you know, I'd be able to watch those all day long. But it kept playing, you know, 30 seconds or even less, and then caching. You know, it would stop. The audio would keep going, but the video would stop, and then it would catch up, and it kept doing that over and over. And I was really surprised and disappointed in that. And so anyway, I quit trying to do it. Yeah, I went on down to the next one under 4K, and then the one below that's 1080p is what I generally watch everything in. But I noticed on the Lenovo here, it's always going down to 720. You know, YouTube kind of goes, even if you change it manually, it'll go back to auto, you know, and it aggravates me when it's 720 because, you know, any text on the screen, or especially, usually I notice it when I'm you know, watching through my videos to rename them and put a description in them. And I'm always doing desktop stuff, you know, desktop videos as part of my videos most of the time. So I'm always getting aggravated with it switching back, and usually I put it back on 1080, and it might take it 20 seconds to kind of, you know, bring in enough cache to start playing smooth, but then it's fine. But with that 4K, I could not make it. I couldn't sit and watch it in 4K. I don't know if I didn't try any other videos. I really don't pay attention. As long as it looks good to me, I just watch it, you know. But whether it's mine or somebody else's. So here's what I think I want to do. I mean, I could get in there, open that case, and I'm thinking it's kind of going to be a bunch. It's going to be time consuming. Well, I think I should do it. I just really am a little nervous about hot swapping them. You know, used fans from a company you've never bought from before. So I could, because, and you know, the servers have all kinds of mechanisms in the electronics to protect themselves, but I would think that if you shut it down, put one in there, don't do two, because then you don't know which one's messed up if something's messed up. Do one, boot it back up. See, this is going to take a lot of time, but if it was something really wrong with it, I would think it would stop instantly and not even boot up. But if you pull one out and shove another one in with it already running, I'm afraid that it might, say there's a dead short in it or something, it might blow out something in the server motherboard before it has a chance to react. Could happen either way. And these are, I don't really see a easy way to figure out, well, yeah, there is. Figuring out which, what I was thinking about using them at one of these as as an exhaust fan. I bought one and it was doing the job, but after it ran 2.5 hours, it started rattling like crazy, and I'm going to show it in a little bit. And I couldn't use it. I had to take it down. It was all installed, all looked real nice. I'll show you right quick while I'm jabbering on here. Get it and put it over here and show you. So, and I spent 4 days or something trying to get everything all set up, and when I finally wearing myself out doing it, you know, working up over my head, and then that was the outcome. And I was real happy when it was working, and then when it did that, I mean, it was really loud, and you're just not going to be able to handle that, you know. I mean, one thing, you know, with your ventilation fans in the bathroom, you know, they just rattle through the attic, and everybody can hear them. And ours, they're Braun 655s, and I have some of those, some old ones in the garage, because the heater fans are prone to going out. I've got 2 of them out there. Well, I've got good the exhaust fans, the vent fans. They're good, and the heater fans were bad. And anyway, but this. I don't have the cover, it's in the box. Okay, it has I liked this was that's all bent right there, and it wasn't like that. Probably, I bet you it got hot, but it should have. I would think if it got hot, it was mounted like this, I would think this would go the other way, not up. Anyway, I'm gonna take the motor out and see, because I was thinking about putting one of these fans in there. With that section there, I could just I know I can figure out how to wire it now that I see it without damaging it. Well, I don't have a connector like that, but I don't know. I might have to buy something. Having something that small, that's really small, to make a connection. But whichever way it blows, I'm not sure which way it blows, but I would mount it, take this one out, and put that one in its place, and hook it up to right there somehow. These little these little rubber deals, I think those are regular. Yeah, those are regular. Yeah, those are regular. I'm sure that's part of how it stays still in the server. But if I did use one of these, I think you could take those out, the rubber things that pop in and pop out, and you could put normal fan screws in there. I don't know. Some of a lot of regular old desktop fans, and yep, have an arrow on them that show you which way the air goes. Oh, that's kind of funny. Oh, there's an arrow pointing to the connector, and then another one pointing which way the air goes, I think. So I don't know if that would show up on that. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to see it on that camera. So anyway, you've probably seen them. They're just kind of a part of the. You've seen them on other fans probably, or server fans if you work with servers. But anyway, yeah, that's a good size. It would work, and I can see since I can see enough of the wiring, I know. Like if if you run 12 volts to it, then it's probably going to be run full blast. That's the thing. These are speed controlled, but it looks like since there's a yellow and a red, I'm figuring that it changes voltages, but it's still more to it than that. It's probably PWM controlled or something, other kind of thing that I don't know about. That's a popular thing with, speed controlled fans is PWM control. But anyway, I'm going to actually take that fan out here in a little while. First, I want to figure out for sure. I don't want to just start trying to plug, power into these. I call it my power supply amp. I got 2 computer power supplies that I built years ago down under there, and it's got 2 car amplifiers in it, and that's how I my amps from my sound system. And when I built it, I planned to also use it as as a power supply for any projects I'm working on. But the problem is, I have a hard drive adapter. You could plug in either IDE or SATA drives into it, and it to USB. Change it to USB, and you can plug it into any computer with USB. But what happened was the hard drives make horrible, mind-numbing buzzing noises through the amps. So I couldn't use it that way. I just still like it. I can still pull out a plug and use it if I want, and I do if it's something that's not noisy, like that. But anyway, I don't want to risk messing. I want to plug them in like they're supposed to be plugged in and make sure they work properly before I start playing with them, if I do at all. Because I also have the two vent fans in those Braun 655. Bathroom ducts, and they're heater and vent fan combos, and but they're really loud. But yeah, I got to thinking, well, maybe I could put that blade on it, instead of the one that's on there, and maybe it wouldn't be loud. And with them, they're 110 volt. No big deal. That setup I made, I can just wire it straight up to one of those. If I use one of these, then I'm going to have to waste a whole computer power supply to run this thing, and I really don't want to do that, because that's too many amps. I've got lots of 2.45 amps. I got a lot of little bricks, all different ones. And I do have a one or two for printers. I don't think they do that many amps. One's 2.45 and this one's 3.30. Usually the big, I might have a 1.5 amp. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to, you don't, I don't really like the idea of having a wall wart plugged into my closet like that. Because, when they go out, they're liable to burn themselves up or something, and I don't really want that in my closet to where I can't, of course, where all the things around here are plugged in, I can't, at least one good thing, I'd smell it. Well, I might not smell it if the fan's still running. Well, if the power goes out, the fan will quit running. But yeah, the quickest way I'd find out if one of the wall warts for all this electronic stuff went out is if I smelled it. Because it's all out of sight. Let's see, I was fixing, let me go ahead and check my stream. Back on the desktop and let you show it while I'm doing it so that it won't be just showing half of me sitting there. Let's see, history, see if I can get back there that way. Probably that one, we'll hope so. They're in the process of changing the way you live stream works, and they won't let you go straight to this anymore. You have to jump through 3 or 4 hoops of links. They're in the process of changing the way you live stream works, and they won't let you go straight to this anymore. Yep, sounds good. Okay, and this machine just can't handle that running all the time, so I just have to close it. As a matter of fact, I like to leave this open so I can watch my video, make sure my backup video is working, but I want to make sure nothing goes wrong here. Okay, so let me think. Okay, I guess the best thing for me to do, for me to feel safe, is shut the server down, even though that's going to take a lot longer. Don't really want to do it that way, but it'll shut the server down, and then take one out and put that in, and put one of those in, and then I guess I could do them both, and if they both work, everything's fine. Yeah, I was, really when you want to test things, you usually want to test, one particular thing at a time. But I'm not trying to figure out if something, well, if one spins up and the other one don't, you'll know. You can see whether or not they're spinning. Yeah. Okay, I can put them both in there. That way I won't have to reboot it twice, because it does take a good while. Take more time figuring out what to do than doing it, right? Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and put camera 4 over that way, because it's the higher resolution, and I think that's maybe a little higher. Yeah, the last time I did that, I noticed I really needed to be up about to the top, almost. Yeah, see, that's still not quite tall enough to keep from cutting my head off. It's just kind of the way the angles of everything is. Just moves too easy. Oh, there we go. I was blocking it. Okay, so I'm going to open the door. Yeah, and that floor fan's old. I don't want to leave it in there for a long period of time, because I've had to oil it, you know, clean it once every. Well, I got to where I don't use it much anymore. I used to have to clean it every year, you know, oil it up and everything, or else it wouldn't keep running. You can't really hardly see the lights, but they're on. Well, oh yeah, there's lights on the hard drive blinking, but you can't see them in the video. Don't look like. Anyway, okay, I'm on the camera. I'm on the wireless now. I got to get over here and switch. Actually, I don't need the keyboard. Switch on the. I'll just leave it like that. You can kind of see the monitor on camera too. Normally that's what I'm doing it when I'm working on the server. There we go. Okay, so we'll shut it down. And there we go. Oh, I forgot. When the server boots up and shuts down, it makes really loud noises. When it boots up, it's real bad. Let's see what is plugged into there. I think my battery for cam 1 is my power supply for cam 1. I mean, it has a battery, but I don't want to make it. It's gonna. I guess I can unplug. I'm using a USB sound card. That's why and that's what that thing does. I guess I could unplug it for this part. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah. I guess I should. Well, no, that light's really not going to help. So yeah, I can unplug the USB sound card here. It does work, but it's not the greatest. It's terrible, you know. If I'm used to having my amps on all the time, all day, you know, not all night. I turn off at night. And this is my 8 terabyte backup drive. I'm going to unplug it too. And now I've got to get I don't actually have a good way to, unless I wanted to use this one, it'll go up in there. I don't really have a good way to, I can do that. Let's just put it over there, and then I'll turn it on. I think I can do that okay, yeah. It's not, I think, well, it's going to be in the way too much right now, but I will do that. I might even do a split camera deal or something. But I've got my HDMI cable and my I've got a couple of empty hangers here. I might be able to use them, one of them, to hang stuff on. Let's see. I gotta be real careful, because there's no strain relief back there for that thing. I gotta get it out of the way. so that I can get the lid open. Oh, my Ethernet cables are laying on the door too. This is going to be harder than I thought. I can pull it forward quite a bit, I think. My Ethernet cables are barely long enough to reach. And the way I routed my HDMI cable is making me pretty restricted on what I can do. I just now realized I haven't touched them since I got them in there. Oh, okay, that was enough movement to where I can, and I don't want to twist on that. I actually can spin this thing all the way around, but I don't want to do that with all these cables plugged in. Okay. Yeah, that HDMI cable is pretty stiff. Doesn't like going that way, and I don't want to force it because there's no. Let's see. Do I have? Oh yeah, I do have a twisty on it. Good. Kind of keeping it from getting broken. You know, from the connector getting broken. Okay. Now, I'm not really gonna. I can't get in here and put a camera in here too. So, but I did get it to where I can get the lid up. Well, luckily, the lid easily comes off without having to raise it up real high. Well, let's see what we got here. Oh, there's not really any, there's pictures on, if you haven't ever seen one, it's pretty cool. It tells you how to do a lot of things right there under the lid. It is dusty. I'm getting myself into dust. Okay, now I'll try to get you in on what's going on here. Because this will go up. You're gonna go in there and let me get in there too. Let's see. I can't see. I think I'm too close. So now I've got stuff I'm turning over. I've got a lot of, I took some of my stuff out of the closet. Well, some of it's out and needs to be put back in when I get done with this work. But some of it I did end up permanently taking out. Can't see the, I'll have to switch to it in order to, I think I have a scene with 2 and 4, yes. Just did that, I made that today. There we go. Now, but I haven't got the camera aimed good, so doesn't want to, the weight of my cable is causing me a little trouble there. There we go. It's not the absolute best setup here for the camera. There we go. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, I thought maybe there'd be enough light. Those phones actually do better in low light, I think, than that other one. Okay, so I do want my magnifying glass. I want to look before I leap. I need a drink. I wanted to, the reason I left it running so I could kind of get the sound in the video, but I do have a noise gate and compressor on this lapel, so, you know, it's definitely toned down a whole lot. There we go. Yeah, you just squeeze them. This is a made in China, 3.30 amp. Okay, let's see where the connector is now. I think these are all going to match. 496. Oh, it says the same thing. HP part number and then replace with spare fan, so and so. 4631720-001. 4631720-001. That's the HP part number. That's what I looked them up by. And I'm pretty well certain. I have checked them. Actually, one time when I bought it about a year ago, and I put it under the bed. I messed with it some, and then I put it under the bed, and I have trouble with my health being up and down, and so I didn't get back to it until the last 2 or 3 months here. And yeah, you need to pay attention to where the connector is to know where. I don't think you can see that, but it probably won't let you put it in backwards. Let's see, which one do I want to put where? That's the Vietnam one. I think I'll put I don't know that it matters, but I'll put the China one. You could put the China one in that slot. The one it's just like the ones. So if I was going to use one, I'd probably use the one that's not an exact match. I was going to use one for, oh, the numbers. Yeah. 463172-00. 463117. Yeah, okay. 463. Yeah, they're all the same number. So it's kind of odd that the ratings aren't exactly the same. There we go. That one dropped in all by itself just when it's on weight. It feels looser in the oh, they can all be picked up. Definitely not one to put in your mobile in the back of your van and run around with. This one is different. It's I didn't know. Yeah, no, it's not. I was thought the top of all the rest of them. This one's got a wider rounded section. These are rounded for the clips, but this one's got one where you can really feel it. I thought, oh, that's odd. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna put the lid on it with these in there. I'm just gonna turn it on and see how it all does. And make sure everything looks okay, that I have sound and everything. Okay. So I'm gonna turn it on. See if they get super loud or do anything odd. They're turning. All of them are turning. And it's not ramping up or anything. It's like nothing was changed. So that's good. I'll wait a little bit and see. It will probably warm up a little bit around the processors with the lid off, because the fans aren't going, you know, all the way through. And I've been thinking ever since I bought my video card, it's right there. If you can can see my hand or not. It's behind, straight in that direction. Anyway, it has 2 fans on it, and I kind of wonder if they could actually fight the front fans, you know, and I wondered if I should really take them off and let these fans do the cooling for it. But first I just wanted to get everything with the ventilation system finished before I started dealing with that. I was thinking about doing that. And it's the first time I've opened it since I put it in there. It's easier than I thought it was going to be. Switch back to my SM58 until I get ready to shut that down, because the longer I'm on this wireless mic, the more behind it gets way behind the video. Okay, yeah, I couldn't really tell how good my picture close-up was, but that's okay. It's not getting loud, so I think that's, I wanted to make sure that it's, now I got to get over on the other machine and make sure it's at a good point to shut it down. I'm going to shut it down. I'm just going to hard shut it down in the middle of the boot. Oh, I unplugged the sound card so it won't make that big boop. Oh, okay. It just now got to boot Fedora. Well, I'll go ahead and let it do it, and I'll shut it down with the software. You could, you know, you probably should be fine to hard shut it down from there. It always is with a desktop or a laptop, but it doesn't take long to boot Fedora, so no point in doing anything out of the ordinary for no reason. Okay, cool. They both work, and they sound great. And reasons for complications. Any room for complications right now? Yeah, $2.50. Oh, okay. I have to log and type, and then after it gets logged, you get logged in. Type start X, START-X, and it'll start up. I got Mate Desktop on there. At first, I was really like, oh man, I want that working if I have to reinstall. But now, it really is not a big deal, doing that. Keeps other people from knowing how to get in there. Of course, I always have a password on my machines anyway, so. But I don't worry about it. It's just family here, But once it's up and going, then I just, I can't stand when they log out and make you log back in and all that crap. It drives me insane. So I don't do that. But the only thing I'd worry about is if somebody actually, in the command line, if they're not logged in, they can't break anything. I'd be more worried about somebody accidentally breaking something. But pretty hard to break Fedora anyway, or to bang. It's not like Windows where you hit 2 or 3 keys at once, you might break the operating system, I mean, you can do it, but if you do mess up the file system or something, then it usually fixes itself on the next boot. You don't have to manually do it like in Windows. So it's booted back up. Looks like it's finished booting. Go look at it one more time. And I've been running it. I think it's probably the second week I've been running it every day as my main computer. But I shut it down at night. And my plan is, if it's not going to be too loud and if I can keep it cool enough, that's why I put it in the closet to, the sound. There we go. Now I've got to go back and switch back onto my wireless so that you'll hear me again when I go over there. Same scene. Okay. Now, of course, I cough as soon as I get back on the wireless. I can't move my head away from it. It's clipped to my shirt. They are clipped to my shirt. I have a little dual wireless set up. Works pretty good. I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking for not dual wireless, dual lapel. I make this regular lapel mic that's, you know, that has a TRRS connector that you can plug it into your phone. I make it wireless by sending the Wi-Fi audio over Wi-Fi to the computer. Need my little light. Not much of a light, but it's just enough. I thought it was still spinning. Okay. Bearings didn't heat up or anything odd like that, so good deal. So yeah, I would say that company's probably all right. I mean, I don't know anything else about it other than this purchase, but I found it. I think I found it on Google, just searching for what I've discovered. I discovered when I first got the server that HP, they got a lot of good documentation. It's kind of hard to find sometimes for this old server because they've taken down some of the pages, but I thought they'd completely taken them down, but they didn't. They just archived them. They're in a different location. So, like, I downloaded PDF manuals, and the links in them don't always. Sometimes they work, but most of the time they really don't. But if you go on the site and do a search for what you're looking for, I ended up finding most of what I needed, you know. And I mean, for like the links that were on the in the manuals. The manuals has all the information. The HP, you know, the PDF manuals. But I found a complete list of all available parts, you know, replacement parts for this thing, and that's how I got the exact part number. Started searching that. Because you gotta have the right one for the right, you know, it's got to be an HP DL. Like these only fit HP DL380 G6 and G7 machines. They don't fit previous and they don't fit later. At least not officially now. And with a server, you know, they're more prone to do that. So I wouldn't, if you know. Well, I've learned, I always refer to Morton of my Playhouse channel. He's the guy I've watched and learned pretty much everything I know about servers and how I decided I'd be able to handle, you know, I had learned enough to get one of my own. I've been wanting one, but well, I found his channel. When I first found his channel and found out that he did those kind of videos, first video of his I saw, he was trying to repair one of those electric scooters that they used to call hoverboards, you know, fake hoverboards. And then I saw that. I said, well, he's pretty good. Let's see what else he does, you know. And I said, that's mostly all he does with server videos. He's a server admin guy, an IT guy. And I've been watching him for at least 3 years now. And he likes IBMs, but he does have a G6, an HP DL380 G6. And he has a big old storage, HP storage. He's got like 72 hard drives or something in it that he worked really hard on trying to get it to work right. He had a lot of trouble with hard drives not wanting to be recognized and stuff. But he does do, this is all in his home. He does that at work, but he doesn't, at home, he plays with stuff because he likes it, you know. And he has a server room set up. And anyway, the first server videos I watched of his was putting video cards in servers. And it turns out these HPs are actually made ready to support video cards. So that's why I went ahead and was the cheapest powerful server that I found, and they already were set up for supporting video cards. And the IBMs are a lot harder to get them to work in them. Some of them it works, some of them it doesn't. And they're cost more. So that's why I got this. They have a reputation for their hard drives failing, but so I set this up in it's got 8 drives. I set 6 of them up in a RAID 5 and I left 2. Well, I went ahead and set them up in a RAID 0 separately by themselves, so that kind of be flexible as to what I might do. What I might do is put I have a 5 terabyte and an 8 terabyte Seagate backup drive that I think they're SATA drives. I think they're the same size. These are the smaller drives, like laptop size. And I may go ahead and take those 2 out and put them in there. But the thing is, not both. I may have to buy another new drive, like and match them in size or something. But they're both have a lot of data on them. They're mirrors. The 5 terabyte was the first one, and the 8 terabyte I got later, a couple of years later. So it's a mirror of the 5 terabyte. So what I would do if I do anything, I'll put that 5 terabyte in there first. Well, one way or the other. I could do it the other way around if I don't wait till it's filled completely. It's getting close. It's only got like 1.4 terabyte left on it, I think. But I haven't ever shucked them from the case yet. That's what somebody I guess on his comments told him it's called shucking, and he didn't know how to say it because he's I think he lives in Denmark or somewhere, and he speaks English really well, but he's not always up on all of our country sayings or big city sayings or whatever. Anyway, shucking corn, if you know what shucking corn is, probably. Anyway, so somebody decided to call it shucking hard drives, shucking USB drives. And so he would say, I'm going to chuck them. He'd said, I don't know how you say it. He said, chuck them. So he just started calling it chucking them. And chucking would be throwing them, right? So I never did say nothing on there. I just talk about him behind his back on the video because he's never going to watch my video. Somebody will tell him. Okay. Anyway, he don't care. He thinks it's funny too. But he's really nice fellow, shares his knowledge with the whole world, and I appreciate it. So I'm always telling stories when I'm getting myself turned around. Okay, I want to since I haven't had it open in a while, I want to go ahead and kind of look it over. Yeah, I had to buy a cable to handle, to plug in that, I might need that light again, to plug in that I'll bring this on down and so that I can show the back of it now. I'm a little too far over that way now. I'm going to kick this. I'm afraid I'll kick it. Let's go a little lower. I think it would look better if you weren't looking at the shelf up there. A little lower than that. I know it's going to be crooked, but I can straighten it. Oh, sometimes I'm using a 1-inch paper clip. Sometimes it moves, and then the clip that I'm clipping it onto this is actually a light stand tripod. It's not really a tripod, so it's not very easy to move. It's easy to get shaken, and once it starts shaking, it keeps on shaking. And I'm going to such pains because I want to show what I'm doing next. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay, so I've got my 8 terabyte drive up here because I set it on top of the server at first, and that was when I didn't have the fan, and it was getting so hot it was like it was going to fry an egg. I had some other stuff I had been setting up there. Well, the old power supplies, and there's a couple of cups that are sitting down there on the floor with stainless on the outside, the plastic inside, stainless on the outside. They were actually not warm, just pretty much hot after sitting there for a few hours. But anyway, this backup drive, I'm going to plug it into the back. I have 2 USBs on the back. I think I can reach. I got it where I want it to keep it cool, because its vents are only in the front and underneath, so it doesn't matter that there's stuff beside it touching it. But I'm gonna have to feel for this. I don't. Oh yeah, I do remember where they are. They're behind, down below the power supply. What have I got here? Something plugged in there. Is that the USB? What USB do I have in there? Oh yeah, I bought a long USB cable, like 15 foot long, to go over there to my KVM switch. So, I believe I just found it. I just don't understand what. Oh, that's the USB cable. Okay. There it goes, right there. The handles for the. What's that? Power. Okay. Now that's power. I think I put strain relief on pretty much everything. Maybe not the power. I just stepped on the tripod. I think knocked the cup over for somehow. But power. Yeah, where's that USB? I think it's in the Ethernet. I have two Ethernet cables in there. One for Ethernet, internet, network. The one for ILO, so I can. Oh, I was going to look at how warm it was. Oh well, that's all right. It was nice and cool. I knew this was going to be tricky. At least with it pulled up like this, I can reach it. I just got to not go too far and have it tilt forward. And pull it a little more where I can reach it a little better. I thought I'd be able to feel my way through there a lot easier than it's being. I can find the cables, but I can't find where they're going, where they're plugging in. I did a minute ago. I thought, okay, that's one of them. Okay, I think no, they're not over each other. They're beside each other. That's right. What's that one? Power again, because I'm not down there. They're underneath the power supplies, so it's a little. That's Ethernet. That's power. Yeah, I think they could be pulled out messing around there, those power ones. And I don't want to keep pushing around on the way I have that. I don't know, I guess that's the best way. But the way I have that HDMI, that's the one I'm worried about, breaking it off in the video card. Breaking the video card connector would be a bad day. Just as far as I can reach. I'll try coming this way just a little bit more. Okay. Is that it? That feels more like an Ethernet. Or it's just a vent. Where are you? With them all tied to stuff, which isn't, need the strain relief, but with them all tied to stuff, it's turning out really hard to trace them. I feel like I thought I could do pretty easily. There, okay. I just didn't know where it was. Okay, there's where it's tied. I've been putting this off because I knew it would be hard. There's one. Maybe that spot that I felt really was a USB. It just felt like it was too big to be a USB. You know what? Maybe they really are on top of each other after all. Okay, where'd you go? I've got tables tied really close to each other, or to each other. There it goes. I can tell by the The adapter cable is a very new, slick, kind of sticky, sticks to your fingers cable. Clear USB cable has clear, and you can see the shielding, the foil shielding through the clear. Yeah. Yeah, there's some Ethernets. I don't remember exactly where they are. There's 3 more Ethernets, and that's why I keep thinking I've got found. Boy, this is way harder to find than I thought it would be. Been an hour doing this. Maybe it's actually. Maybe I chose the one. Oh, I think I found it. I think I chose the inboard, or the one close. They're on the left side, looking at the front of it, and I think I must have chose the right one. And so, yeah, that feels like a USB. Now I have to figure out its orientation. Lost my spot now. All this, well, spinning it around. Yeah, there we go. Now I'll probably want to unplug it. But the thing was, I couldn't plug anything else. I have 4, that's all it has. I got it. Just kind of making sure it's not. Oh, I was making a little blue light come on somehow. Yeah, there's a little, well, there's lights for some stuff. It might have came on because I plugged something new into it. There's that little blue light that comes on to tell you, you know, the light comes on in the front to tell you what's connected in the back. It lights up. I think you can do it from either end. I can't remember now, but anyway, I did get it. I'm trying to make sure everything else is still good before I quit. I tried to be careful not to yank on anything, but you never know what you might have done. I have more than once knocked out a Ethernet cable trying to feel for stuff on those desktop machines. Didn't want to pull them out. And you accidentally hit the clip and it just jumps out of there like you did it on purpose. Okay, I know that the I just found the open place where the heat. I left one of the covers out to let the heat out from this video card, and they're sharp without, the hole is without the cover on it. Like the slot cover, I don't really know what to call it. Bet Morton knows. He probably knows it right in English, and I keep wanting to say Dutch. Now probably, I don't know. I always forget the exact, the name of this country, but it's right over there close to Sweden, and I remember it's really close over in there. It's not like Texas, I mean, it's, well, down to the coast is like 700 to 5,800 miles. I'm in North Texas. It's about 250, 300 miles to the Red River to Oklahoma, and I don't know. It's far to New Mexico. It's far to Louisiana. It's far from here to pretty much anywhere. I mean, you could live right in the middle of Texas and it'd be even further. But Texas really is bigger than most states. Almost the only other states is there. Alaska is a little bit bigger than Texas, but 3/4 of it's frozen all the time. And there's lots of countries that are not anywhere near as big as Texas. I've seen some of these countries. Well, when I drove up to Ohio one time, the states were like the size the distance between Dallas and Fort Worth. It was really weird because I'm born and raised here. It's what I'm used to, you know. Okay. I don't think I want that light. Yeah, I do want that light. Okay. So I'm going to put my lid back on there. Let's kind of look things over again. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I hit. There's buttons you hit to make the light come on. In the front, and I saw a blue light, but now I'll have two. That's probably good right there. I'll have two USBs, making sure those are down. Okay. In the front that I can use. One of them is going to be occupied with the sound card all the time, and the other one, if I want to plug in anything else, I can now. Because before I had 8 terabyte in the one and the sound card in the other, and that was it on the front, you know. That light's going to be door. Well, let's try and see. Okay. So yeah, if you want to have a server in your room, your bedroom, like I'm doing, I would say that well, I would say don't vent it into the attic unless you have to. I didn't have no other choice, and you're not going to be able to do it without venting it. There we go. Because I did run it with the vent installed but no fan, and it was after, well, as soon as I started watching YouTube videos, that just works any machine watching video YouTube. Especially now the new version they came out with of their YouTube pages, you know. But anyway, you'll need a vent, and that's a 4-inch. It's a dryer vent. You come with a flappy door, and I mounted it upside down, and the fan that I bought couldn't open the door, so I had to screw it open, put a screw in to hold it open, and it couldn't even. I didn't show the louvers that came with that fan, but it couldn't open them either. So I had it in there without any. I wanted to have the doors to shut when it's off, so that mosquitoes and bugs and critters won't come in, you know. But let me stop talking so I'm going to break something here. Okay. Because these cables need to come up over. They're not long enough to go around the back of this. And my towel is on there to keep. This is a file cabinet that I have. Have it sitting on, that I've had in here for years, probably 20 years, and so it's plenty sturdy to hold it and everything, and it gets it, you know, that's a good height for me. I like that. Okay, I got to make sure I don't ram the slide this off of one side or the other, and I don't want to ram the that HDMI cable into the wall. I can't reach the wall to feel for it. Oh, shit. I forgot one of the cables, the one I just plugged in. It was getting stretched. It's gotten itself under. I knew it wasn't long enough. Good thing I hot glued that other end into the deal here. That would have yanked it straight out of there. That's what it would have done. It wouldn't have probably hurt it, but would have yanked it straight out of there. I was like, I don't think I'm to the wall yet. Why is it not wanting to move? And it can't reach. I flat cannot reach to the back, you know. Well, that's as far as I can go, and safely with that cable anyway. Okay. Okay, everything's nice and loose. Yeah. I really would like to have I'm gonna when I stretched on that, it made me kind of, you know, normally what I would do is, and I'm going to pull it back this way far enough to get to where I can give it a feel. Make sure it feels okay. Yeah, it seems okay. Okay. This time I went that direction. Now I want to check this. I want to make sure I haven't. Yeah. Luckily, I use twist ties. They're more. You can kind of easier to adjust exactly how long, how you want them, the length and where the tightness gets than you know, zip ties. That's what I had handy at the time. I've used them and just leave them for years, and they don't hurt. You know, they work great. So I've used them mostly for cable strain relief. That's really what I use. Now that I think about it, I really don't use zip ties here in my room. You know, I have a computer rack over there. That's where I really wanted to put the server originally. But I you know, after I worked on it and ran it enough, I realized that it's going to make, especially once you start using it and make it work a little bit, it's going to make so much noise that, you know, I would have to build a soundproof box. And, you know, you can buy server boxes, but there's, you know, you're looking at $350, you know, $250, $350 bottom line there. Oh, my little cans of stuff fell over, but I'm not going to, well, I better. Pick them up. My stuff is that's not good. I don't know exactly where I had this HDMI cable, but my stuff is in kind of a mess right now because I can't figure out where I want to put stuff. The garage is full. I can't hardly put anything, and I don't want stuff out there that I don't want torn up, you know. What's that cable? This is not pretty for one thing, but anyway, I just realized this cable can go beside that. I know what will happen. One day I'll say, oh, I want to open that drawer, and I will not even realize that cable's right in front of it. I'll give it a good yank and find out if that wasn't a good idea. There we go. Anyway, all this stuff is basically kind of homeless stuff. You can't see it, but it's just a couple of cups and WD-40 and stuff. Stuff that used to sit on, some of it used to sit on top of this file cabinet. But anyway, that towel is there to protect me from scratching up my filing cabinet, because I did a lot of hard work on that, painting it black when I first got it. It was army green, got it for like $15. Let's see, yeah, there it is. There's the stuff I was fighting with. Okay. Let's go back over here. Yes, I'm doing a great video, spinning that around and around. I don't remember. Just going to leave it right there. I don't really remember what it was I might want to use it for next. Okay. Yeah, I can turn it on and then go over there and switch to it. And I'll wait and turn on the... No, wait. I'm going to not plug in this sound card until... Because I didn't want to turn my power off to my amps. I can just plug it in, you know, it's USB. Let's see how everything looks. I could have left that camera over here so you could see a close-up of that. I couldn't really see all the warning lights, but I don't think there was any on. Everything was working fine. I can see them now. So, get my magnifying glass because I need to. Power supply green. Where's power supply 2? It's not showing up. I think I got it, knocked it loose. It's probably one of those cables that you can just, you know, they're redundant. You can just plug them in. Well, that's no good. I need a different cable if it's going to be doing that. It's fine on the power strip. Oh, I don't think it comes on unless it's being used. I still need to try and wiggle it and make sure that's not what it is. Let's see. I can see a bright green light back there. Yeah, I don't think it comes. Well, I don't think the light comes on unless it's in use. I remember. It seems like I remember that first time I, you know, checked the power supplies by these lights that I got turned around about that. I can't reach it without pulling it out. I'm just so close. I only like about that much. My fingers were that much longer. What I'm going to do then is go ahead and get over here, get on the machine. I'm going to shut the door to keep that heat go out the roof, not. But yeah, when you got vent out the roof, then I've really been, like when it was raining for almost a whole week, the first week I put it in, and I could smell the musty attic, you know, and my allergies, well, it's kind of weird. Some days they're way worse and sometimes they're better. What was that beep for? Oh, that was saying it was booting up. So, I can use the ILO to see if that power supply, I didn't think I had bad cables in it. And I know I didn't pull one out or anything. I did feel like they were moving more back, right, and left than I thought they did. It's not a problem as long as they don't lose connection. Some of them do, some of them don't. You know, I found one. Actually, haven't changed it yet. Another computer over there in the rack. If it gets moved just a little bit, it'll lose connection. And the funny thing is, different machine. You know, one machine it won't do that, and another one it will. So it's kind of tricky finding them. Okay. Let's go ahead. Yeah, but I've been with the fan, you know, that fan that started rattling, or just that old floor fan. That's enough to keep the heat out of here. It's got up to 78.3 with me having that door open, and but it may just be warming up anyway. That was off until just now. So, but it's 66 in town. It's probably, let's see what it is. I got an indoor-outdoor thermometer here in a minute. It'll tell me. All right, so I want to go to cam 2. That's good enough for you to kind of see what's going on the monitor. And well, let's go ahead and do that. Switch to this mic. It really gets bad when you can see my mouth and it's moving and you don't hear nothing, and then, you know, if I point to something or show something, it's really bad. But so we'll stay there. I'm gonna get on this server. And hope if that other power supply is not connected right, you know, then I'll have to pull that thing back out enough where I can reach it and wiggle on it. Right now, well, I should probably put another cable in there if it's going to give trouble. Those were the two long. I think they're the two longest ones I've got. And I didn't want one. I wanted them to be close to the same length and long enough to reach from up there to down where my power strip it's exactly just, it's plugged into another power strip. It just gets inside the closet. And but that's, you see, you got to log in the command line and then type startx, and then it'll go to, I only have mate on there now. I'll probably put XFCE for a backup desktop in case this one breaks and I need to fix it. Nothing worse than having something break and then having only the command line to fix it in, for me, because I'm not good at typing accurately, or I can, anything longer than just a couple of commands I can't really get them right. So I didn't have to log in, but necessarily to do. Well, no, the power wasn't off. Yeah, you can go in if you have it unplugged or unplugged, no power to it. Then ILO will shut down, and you've got to log in, boot it up. You can be in the command line, but you can boot it up before ILO to start up, and then you can get to it. I'm going to go to it with ILO, but I don't have a way to get to it from here yet. You can't use the new web browser. You got to use an old one. And so I got an XP virtual machine on my other. I haven't put it on here yet. I got it on my Lenovo, the one I'm streaming from. But I think everything's actually fine. I think, yeah, there's my USB backup drive, so it's all good. Go ahead and open up File Manager just to make sure everything's cool with that. Yep, looks good. See, this is was a mirror of the 5 terabyte, but now they've been separated for about a week, and I've saved a few things on here and a few things on the other one. So I didn't want to take too long to sync them back up again. I'll plug them both into the server, at least for a while. I'll probably leave them separated, and as long as until I reformat this Lenovo i5, but right now I'm using it. So anyway, for now I'm leaving them separated, and each machine can be backed up. I don't have backup set up on the server yet. I don't have much on it. I haven't done much of anything. Oh, I switched, but I ain't never got back on the server. My KVM switch is down behind the monitor, and I use a pencil to reach the button. Okay, now. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to the desktop, and I'm going to open up VirtualBox and use that WinXP virtual machine. Where am I? Yeah, I'm on the desktop, I remember. Just make sure. Okay, yeah, we're on the desktop. Everything looks like it's working. I think I will check my stream since I haven't done it once I get this starting to boot up here. Well, actually, that works the machine really hard, so maybe I better not do that right now. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt my feelings any to use, unless it's loud, use one of these fans in that little, I'll show it later, that little vent setup that I bought. It was $16 with $5 off, and so I figured, well, either it's going to be a bargain or it's not going to be worth it. And as far as the fan itself, it wasn't worth it. And I can send it back. I can do that. I'm not going to mess it up. But see, just to buy a louvered vent cover was $12, so I paid about $11 for that with the fan. So, and it's got a way to mount another fan in it, so it may be best to just keep it and use it. And like I said, I have the option of maybe using one of these. Well, I keep forgetting this is going to need high-powered DC. I don't want to do that unless first I'm going to try those 110-volt fans, because I think they're probably too big. I don't remember how big they are exactly. I have some videos I made on them, and I watched one of them the other day, and so I know what they look like and everything. But this is a 4-inch vent pipe, and that fan fits inside of there. But the motor, what hit me is I know that those blades on those things tend to be noisy. You know, I think that's one of the things that makes it noisy. And we'll have to wait for this to finish booting up before I can do anything with it. Your computer might be at risk. Vast antivirus might be out. It keeps updating. It'll update. It'll just automatically update itself. This thing, a lot of people didn't know, this is WinXP Pro. I used to have it on a hardware machine when I bought it, you know, the WinXP Pro installation CD, and built a computer. The first one I ever built back when XP came out. And let's see if we can get in Firefox. Yeah. And anyway, I don't use it. You know, well, I've got Fedora on that machine now. I don't really use it much because it's a Pentium 4, and it's I've got like Fedora 21 or 2 on it or something. I used to use it to edit videos some because until now I've never had a machine I could be rendering a video and be using it at the same time. I've always had to do it on another machine, but it makes a lot of heat and it's kind of loud, that old Pentium 4. You know, the old 80mm fans, but it would do it. But you know, it might take my videos are never shorter than an hour, so it would take all night, you know, and all next day to finish rendering a video. But and that's why I got into live videos. So I don't have to do that. I used to think I wanted to edit videos for a living, but I never got anybody to hire me to do that. I did sound for bands, and I got a job at a local TV station in Dallas, a little small Christian TV station, as a master control operator, switching the programs. So basically, I was doing live editing, is what I used to say. But and we didn't have any fancy switcher either. It was just a push button and tape machines, and they had an old ancient Shure microphone mixer with the twist knobs for the audio, and it was so hard to, because you know, the commercial, well, no, they weren't commercials, they were, you know, spots for the different ministries that they played between shows, and public service announcements. We had to do those every so often. They just let us pick whichever one we wanted to play. I'm still waiting for Firefox to open up. And anyway, as the engineer, I got to know the engineer of the station. They had a dedicated engineer. Actually, he went to my church, and so he was real nice. And I think that's actually how I got hired. But anyway, I said that since I make some for bands, I knew about that, and also had learned a little bit. Well, I sat there looking at it. There was can't remember exactly what they call them, but anyway, it's automatic level control that they had their own tower, and I was in the building I was in the building with the transmitters, and the tower was outside, and that's where they had the switching set up. Let me go ahead and yeah, that's where I want to go. So I'm going to just click the restore button. I don't know why it came up like that, but that's where I want to go. And so anyway, I said, well, you know, you can just get I said, it'd be nice to have one of those like that TV station, that radio station had there. And he goes, yeah. And I said, but I'm sure I know they're expensive. And I said, but if we just had a mixer, the real mixer, like a little Behringer or something, or a little Mackie, and he got a little, I think he got a little 8 or 12 channel Mackie, and since I was used to using a mixer, that was great. So we didn't, you didn't need to, you could, but we didn't need to EQ it or anything. Everything was really all the way they wanted it on the tapes. But they used 3/4 tapes, 3/4 inch analog tapes, and they actually shot there. They did a live show that we would broadcast every evening, and they would tape it and play it back. I worked on the weekends at night, like midnight to sunup, midnight to 8, and we'd play it on. They recorded on SVHS tape. It was good enough. You could kind of tell the difference. It wasn't quite as sharp as a 3/4 inch, but it wasn't a big difference. And it was high in they had professional SVHS decks. They didn't have like, you know, a VCR. And the cameras were higher end, you know, SVHS cameras too. A heck of a lot cheaper than trying to get than a 3/4 inch Betacam, that's for sure. Well, Betacam with 3/4 inch deck. And that's what one of those Techmoan, I like his videos. He said, don't get confused between the old video recorders and Betacam. Betacam was the high end. Actually owned one. I got one in the late 90s. I got it at an auction for $350, and it was new in 89, 91, somewhere in there. It was like $12,000 or what it cost. It was a Sony BVP3. Boy, this is taking all day. That's why I don't like to do this unless I really need to. I'm going to click on that again. No, it's still working. So now I gave it another command. I usually, if I'm going to do this in a video, I try to see how much resources are being used now. And over a gig of memory. I gave it a gig of memory trying to get it to run better, but it does make some difference, I think. I don't know if it really needs a gig. I'm talking about the XP virtual machine. Might be better off to give it like on this machine here. It's got 4 gig of memory and it's a quad core i5 processor. But see, it's working pretty hard now. 50% of all, that's going to be of all CPUs, all 4 cores being used right now, 24 and 25 plus a little here, a little there. That's why I keep that open, so sometimes I have to kill apps that are about to lock up the computer. Now we're getting the wonderful Windows XP hourglass. Oh, it went away. Probably should have not clicked on that restore thing. That's probably what's taking all day. I want to hit reload, but it may just make it worse. Already hit that, then I hit this. I think I'm going to try hitting reload because it's really seems like it's not doing anything. If it just kind of hangs up, then I'll have to close it and open it back up again. Should have known better to do that. Usually when you have some thing like that and you have a low resource, not enough resources, you know, you don't want to do that. Heck, that happens on this machine anyway with regular Firefox. But this is an older version. Now, give it something else to do. I'm really bad about forgetting that. See, this is 52, which is not that old, is it? Well, we're on 80 now, so that's pretty old. And it's 32-bit. Oh, yeah, that's 32-bit XP. Well, that XP did, I think, yeah, it came out with a 64-bit, but that was way later before they, you know, closer